Hello students. Today the topic of our lesson is all types of pronouns. The learning objectives of this lesson are to define pronoun and its types, to identify the functions of pronouns, to know the difference between singular and plural pronouns, to identify pronoun case, subjective case, objective case, and possessive case, to identify pronoun and antecedent with clarity, and to use each pronoun in a sentence correctly. The definition and functions of pronoun. A pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. By using a pronoun, we avoid the repetition of a noun. Pronouns are words that are used to take the place of nouns in sentences. They usually refer back to a noun used earlier in the sentence, and they must match the number, point of view, and gender of the noun. We use pronouns to make sentences clearer, less awkward, and smoother. Types of pronouns. There are 9 different types of pronouns: personal pronouns, indefinite pronouns, reflexive pronouns, emphatic pronouns, interrogative pronouns, possessive pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, relative pronouns, reciprocal pronouns. Now we will discuss all these types of pronouns one by one in detail. The first one is personal pronoun. A personal pronoun is a short word we use as a simple substitute for the proper name of a person or thing. Each of the English personal pronouns shows us the grammatical person, gender, number in case of the noun it replaces. I, you, he, she, it, we, they, me, him, her, us, and them are all personal pronouns. This is the detailed table of personal pronouns. Column 1 indicates whether the pronoun is in first person, second person, or third person. Column 2 shows whether the pronoun is singular or plural. Column 3 shows whether the pronoun is masculine or feminine or neutral. In column 4, we have all the subjective pronouns, the subjective case of all pronouns: I, we, you, he, she, it, they. All of these are the subjective case of pronouns. In column 5, we have all the objective pronouns: me, us, you, him, her, it, them. All these pronouns are used as objects in sentences. In the next 2 columns, both are given the heading of possessive case, and then possessive case is further divided into 2 kinds: possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. Possessive adjectives are part of this table, but these words my, our, your, his, her, its, and their, all these pronouns, they function as adjectives in sentences. While the second column under possessive case is that of possessive pronouns. Possessive pronouns are mine, ours, yours, his, hers, its, theirs. Possessive pronouns should not be confused with the possessive adjectives. The last column in this table is that of reflexive case. Reflexive pronouns are myself, ourselves, yourself, yourselves, himself, herself, itself, and themselves. Now, I'm showing you the list of personal pronouns in another way. In the first column, you see two words, subjective and objective. In front of subjective case, you see the singular and plural personal pronouns. In singular, these pronouns are I, he, she, it. And as plural pronoun, the words are we, you, and they. The second is objective case. In front of this, you see the objective personal pronouns as singular or as plural. As singular, they are me, him, her, it. And as plural pronouns, they are us, you, them. The second type is indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns such as everybody, nothing, none, something, anything, etc. do not refer to a specific person or thing, but typically they refer to an unidentified or unfamiliar person or thing. Does anyone know the address of the minister? Do you have anything to eat? Does he choose anywhere? Now, in these sentences, anyone, anything, and anywhere, these are indefinite pronouns, and they don't refer to any specific person or thing or place. This is the table of indefinite pronouns. There are three columns. In column 1, you see people, in 2, things, and in 3, places. With the help of these columns, we easily identify all these pronouns. Under people, the words are someone, somebody, anyone, anybody, no one, nobody, everyone, everybody. In column 2, under the word things, we see something, anything, nothing, everything. In column 3, under the word places, we see pronouns such as somewhere, anywhere, nowhere, and everywhere. Now, reflexive pronouns, the third type. A reflexive pronoun is a pronoun such as myself or himself, which refers back to the subject of a sentence or a clause. Here we have another table. There are 2 columns. In column A, we have subjects, and in column B, we have reflexive pronouns. All reflexive pronouns are made from the subjective case of pronouns. I makes myself, you yourself, he himself, she herself, it itself, we ourselves, you as plural ourselves, and they themselves. Pronouns are used to indicate that both the subject and the object of a sentence receive the action of the verb. For example, he hurt himself when he fell off his skateboard. She usually talks to herself in front of the mirror. David read quietly to himself. We can trust in ourselves. The students can monitor themselves. We use a reflexive pronoun as a direct object when the object is the same as the subject of the verb. For example, I'm teaching myself to play the piano. Be careful with that knife. You might cut yourself. Here are some more examples of reflexive pronouns. I hurt myself trying to fix my father's car. Jack introduced himself to his new friends. Mary walked herself to school for the first time last week. One must get oneself insured if one intends to drive on city streets. You blame yourselves for the accident, but you had nothing to do with it. The fifth type is emphatic pronouns. The emphatic pronouns are myself, yourself, herself, himself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Here you should note this point that these words can be either emphatic pronouns or reflexive pronouns. But here we are mainly concerned with emphatic pronouns. The second name or word for emphatic pronoun is intensive pronoun. An emphatic or intensive pronoun refers back to another noun or pronoun in the sentence to emphasize it. For example, the queen herself attended the party. Here the queen is the noun being emphasized. It is called the antecedent of emphatic pronoun. Here in this example, we used the emphatic pronoun for the antecedent queen. Now, look at the difference between a reflexive pronoun and an intensive or emphatic pronoun. Remember, the reflexive pronoun is necessary to understand the meaning of a sentence. If the same pronouns are used but not needed, they are called intensive or emphatic pronouns. For example, the boy made himself breakfast. Here, himself is a reflexive pronoun. The boy made breakfast himself. Here, it is intensive pronoun or emphatic pronoun. Emphatic pronouns are compound personal pronouns such as himself, myself, and yourself. They are used for emphasis. The following are some more examples of emphatic pronouns. The first one is, I will build the house myself. We will watch the show ourselves. You yourself can tell us about the situation. We saw the president himself. She herself told us the news. The city itself does not receive much rainfall. They themselves prefer to stay at home. The next type is interrogative pronouns. An interrogative pronoun is a pronoun which is used to ask questions. There are just 5 interrogative pronouns. Each one is used to ask a very specific question or indirect question. Some, such as who and whom, refer only to people. Others can be used to refer to objects or people. Once you are familiar with the interrogative pronouns, you will find that it's very easy to use them in a variety of situations. Examples of interrogative pronouns, such as, what's your friend's name? Which of these ladies is your mother? Who is driving the car? Whom did you speak to? Which is yours? Whose is this? Whom shall we ask? The sixth type is possessive pronoun. Possessive pronouns are pronouns that demonstrate ownership, showing that something belongs to a particular someone. Like other pronouns, they are great for brevity and for avoiding repetition. Possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. We have these example sentences. 1. We shall finally have what is rightfully ours. 2. The money was really theirs. 3. The dog is his and the cat is yours. The seventh type of pronoun is demonstrative pronoun. A demonstrative pronoun is a pronoun that represents a noun and expresses its position as near or far, including in time. The demonstrative pronouns are this, that, these, and those. The examples of demonstrative pronouns are: this is funny. Is that yours? Eat these tonight. Throw those away. The eighth type of pronoun is relative pronoun. A relative pronoun is one which is used to refer to nouns mentioned previously, whether they are people, places, things, animals, or ideas. Relative pronouns can be used to join two sentences. Now here in this table, we find out three columns: pronouns, usage, and examples. The first one is who replaces the subject pronouns such as I, she, he, we, and they. And the example is, this is the man who broke the window. Now who has been used instead of he, and he was to be used for man. The second pronoun is whose shows possession or relationship. The example is, she knew the family whose house we bought. Here the word whose shows the family's possession, the ownership, that the house belongs to the family. The other word is whom. Whom replaces the object pronouns me, her, him, us, and them. The example is, they have found the lady whom they want to interview. The next relative pronoun is which. Clauses that begin with which are almost always non-restrictive. The example is, my precious blue lamp which was in the room was broken. The last relative pronoun is that. Clauses that begin with that are almost always restrictive clauses. For example, the lamp that was in the room was broken. In another video, I would show the difference between non-restrictive and restrictive clauses. The last type is reciprocal pronouns. A reciprocal pronoun is used to express a mutual action or relationship. There are two reciprocal pronouns, each other and one another. The use of these pronouns is very easy. For example, they all support each other. The prisoners blamed one another. They gave each other gifts. They can't see each other. Peter and David hate each other. Teams played hard against each other. Why don't you believe each other? The gangsters were fighting one another. This is the end of the lesson. Dear students, I hope that you would have learned all types of pronouns. Thank you very much. Goodbye.